Well, there's only one way to find out, Chris. That is for sure. Vegas versus Guerrillas, Jay. There's a lot of stock in this one. There's all kinds of storylines, but the biggest one is all in focus of winners bracket. The desk has already touched on it. A big spot for the Guerrillas, but on the inverse, Jay, for Legion, a win today would guarantee winners. It would be the first time in Legion franchise history that they would start off a major in the winners bracket side. No pressure, right?
Yeah, definitely no pressure. If you're definitely the Vegas Legion, this is your first time that you have the potential to make it in towards winners, but it's all going to be with this series. You see the players that stand out in hardpoint. Donnie 10, Mr. Don 1.12 KD, going to against Exceed, who has been stepping up so far in this stage, man. Really starting to make a name for himself, sitting at a 1.03. Both of these guys are tremendous players in their own right. Obviously, it stands out a little bit more for Temps as he is running that AR, but what Exceed does on the map with that SMG is very much impactful as well.
Yeah, it definitely is. And you and I have had the chance to cast over Guerrillas a lot lately. I mean, I know the results have not been stellar, right? We're talking about the hardpoint struggles. We're talking about how they've really not seen the same success that we saw them have in the Major II qualifiers. But if there is some positives to take out, it feels like for LAG, you're really starting to see more productivity out of the rookies, out of your young SMGs. I know the desk touched on it, how great that Thieves has looked in certain spots. I think you could say the same thing about Exceed. How valuable are the SMGs for LAG in this series, you think?
That's a big part. It's a big part for their success, man, because if you think about the pacing that they're able to put on, the clutches that they also make in their search and destroys when they're hitting those routes, these guys set the tone for how the Guerrillas are going to come out and play. You have your slow ARs in Assault and RCDs who didn't really have the best performance yesterday, but they still got the job done versus Florida. You just think about that game too, where Jodeci lines up 3 with that SMG in hand, pushes out hedges. He makes the play happen. And the control, that's easy. But when they got all the way to that game 5, I think it was the mid-round adjustments that they were going to have that eventually led to them winning that series.
Yeah, this is a look back at the game 2 Mercado in round 11. It was a quick little 2v3. You see the looks of Florida Mutineers. They're feeling good, all right? We got ourselves in a clutch, rather a situation where we should clutch, and then Jodeci runs through with a 3-piece. You can see it there from Mack.
So tough.
Tilted, bro. Tilted is the word of the day, it feels like, but for LAG, all smiles. Maybe reminiscing on the wonderful clutch they had yesterday.
Yeah, they needed that one, man. They needed that one going into today for them to have a chance at making it towards the winners. So if you are the Guerrillas, I just think that they have to turn up in their hardpoint. The desk touched on it perfectly. They have been struggling so far in this stage. It's like 2-10 in their last 12 hardpoints. It's not the best. They won at least one yesterday versus Florida, their first one of the stage in that game number 4. But this map number 1, pretty sure Nameless touched on it. At least both of the hardpoints that we have in this series are basically a square up. This is going to be the best hardpoint for Vegas Legion, even though their record says otherwise, sitting at 4 and 5. And then for that map number 4, when you get to that embassy, that's where LAG usually like to set the tone. That's their best hardpoint as well. So this is going to be a battle, Lando. Whoever wants it more, whoever's trying to get that winner's bracket is going to come out swinging early in this map 1.
Indeed, it's making a swing, and I think I saw 2Real hitting some wonderful stretches actually coming into the map, so he's making sure that he is nice and nimble coming into a game where they are desperately going to need him.
TJ go?
Is he there? He might. It just might be too dark in the room. I don't know.
Wait, he's moving around.
Hold on a second, Jay. There's a figure moving on his camera.
It might be a ghost.
I saw something. Is he actually there? I have no idea. Regardless, though, we got to be. He could be. I don't know. Maybe TJ just stepped away for a moment. We're not exactly sure. But what we got to talk about, man, is the vet, right? There is no question about it. Clayster is always someone that we talk about when it comes down to the Vegas Legion. And he had his fair share of highlights yesterday. What, Jay? He's almost like 31 years old, 2 months away. And he was hitting some wonderful, wonderful plays here in this Mercado hardpoint. I think it's specifically the spots that we're going to see him jump to right here.
Oh yeah, this is the crazy thing is that Clay was the only guy off the rotation. We were sitting there watching this game in the green room and like, yo, Clay's got to go big, man. Old man has got to step up for the young squad. And when he finds that initial 2 kills, he puts himself in a nice little spot to close out the game. He had himself a wonderful performance in that series yesterday, a 1.2 overall KD. And if you just think about that map number 2, he had 2 huge one-on-one clutches. So any question, if my friend, Old Man Jim, still has it, ain't no question about that, man. He's still here. He's still putting on for the 30-year-olds.
That's exactly right, my friend. That's exactly right? How about this matchup, right? Two guys that have been against each other on when it comes down to the main stage. They've seen each other on the same side, and now obviously they face off head to head. Clay versus aRSty is always going to be a fun battle to witness, and you can really see the numbers so far in our Major 3 qualifiers. Not great from aRSty's, but on the other side for Clay, I mean, take a look at that S&D of 1.46. Goodness.
Oh my God, man. And he does it sometimes with a sniper in hand, but keep in mind, he's also that guy, the majority of these rounds, running that trophy system. So he's making clutches happen without having that dead silence in hand. He's just got the ice in his side. And then going on the side of aRSty's, obviously they struggled. They went in this stage, they started off 0-3, so their numbers aren't going to be the best. And then even in this series yesterday, he drops a .86, but they clutched up in that game number 5. And it wasn't really about the stat line for me for aRSty, because in the game 4 where he needed to step up to extend this series, he did that. And then even in the game 5, when they found themselves down 0-3 in that search and destroy, aRSty's the leader that he is. He changes his gun. He goes from attack 56 to the SMG in hand, and he was basically shutting down that B push every single time, and that's what allowed the Guerrillas to eventually chain 5 rounds in a row to eventually close out that search and destroy by just great leadership in aRSty's, knowing what needs to happen for them to turn it around. He made it happen.
Well, I think we bring up a very interesting, comparison between the two players who sit on the far right side of the screen for both rosters. We compared the KDs, but we also have to consider, Jay, what both of these guys do for their team. Both Clay and aRSty's. I know you touched on it. aRSty's, a lot of pressure on him. All eyes are on to him, considering that he, departs from Atlanta FaZe last year. It very much feels like, the investment that LAG makes into him, they kind of go hand in hand. Like, you're looking to see what life is like after Atlanta FaZe. On the other side for Clay, I mean, what a moment this would be if he can manage to get Vegas Legion, another, I don't know. I mean, it feels like it's really been like a record-breaking season for Vegas so far throughout this year, considering the placements that we talked about at the start of the season. It may seem small to some, but I mean, if he was able to lead the Vegas Legion to their first winner's bracket position in franchise history, that says a lot, right?
Yeah, it definitely does, man, because like you said, they've been breaking records all year. The most series that they have ever won as a franchise was with Clay on the team. The highest placement they got at a major, which was top 6, was with Clay on the team. So you don't want to change anything if you are Vegas Legion. You just want to improve upon it. You've seen so far their road throughout Major 3. They started off hot, man, with a 3-1 over the Thieves. Then obviously you go up against Toronto Ultra, who are 9-1 ever since they made that roster change. Atlanta FaZe just won the recent major. And then even in the series versus Røkkr, it got a little sweaty, but in that game number 5, it was all TJ Halley setting the tone. But enough of all that. It's time to get into this one, baby. Whoever wins this one, if you're Vegas, you guarantee that winners. If you're LAG, you got to get it done in at least 4 to make it a lot better on your side.
Yeah, we talk about pressure a lot for Vegas. They just got to win the series. For LAG, you got to hope and pray that you close things out in a 3-0 or a 3-1. The positive for LAG is that they start on our more preferred side. We talk about the future of Mercado, lots of money hills, but P2 look no further than that hard point. As we jump in for our first one, no surprise, TJ going to be a player that we talk about a lot in this series, Jay. Feels like they oftentimes are seeing success or not seeing success based off of his level of play.
Oh yeah, TJ Halley, when he's on, he is on. He's usually only on in search and destroy. Hardpoint is where he does tend to struggle, sitting at a 0.8 overall KD. But if you can get this young man to really turn up to a whole different level early into this series, then it's basically gonna be done and dusted. But into the P1, it's scrappy. We all know that it's all about the fight over towards P2, and it's gonna be Vegas. At least with the more bodies on this side of the map, can't win any gunfights, so it's a clean 4 dead. Guerrillas win a rotation.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, not a phrase that we say all that often, man. LAG able to win the rotation. They can start to sink their teeth into this game. Is really, for Vegas, not a second awarded over at P1, despite a few little efforts there last second from TJ. Also for LAG, you're gonna have one player off the spawn in Thieves, who's gonna be able to play the pinch. So it is 1-4 down that very well could lead into another 4-down situation as a few players from Vegas begin to halt their progress, waiting for a bit more of support. Some reinforcements are on the way, and they cannot get here fast enough.
Oh, they can't get here fast enough. There's a bunch of Vegas players here trying to contest as aRSty's and Exceed combined for 3. aRSty's already starting off hot. Didn't have the best performance yesterday, but 7-0 already earns that cruise missile. Gets a little bit of assistance right there from his teammate, but so far this is a perfect start to the game. If you are the Guerrillas, you have a cruise missile to work with towards the later half, and aRSty's is not missing right now, man.
Jay, he's not missing bullets. Like, we're talking about clean shots. It does not get much cleaner than that. from Big Daddy Alec, off to an 8-0 start. Looking to hit some routes and maybe surprise Clay a bit as he stays alive and keeps that flawless record up. And thankfully for Legion, they're able to finally get on the board. To 10 we go, or to Elephant Room. I still have no idea why that's the call out, but regardless of it, Vegas clear the first wave, and Arsties, well, he remains on the spree, buddy.
Yeah, Vegas, they're perfectly set up right now, and they know that Arsties is still the player towards the back, so you're going to invest that cruise, try to throw all your tax in to make that not impactful. But here it comes. Nothing's going to be able to connect. They're trying to set up the pinch. He starts it off. He gets the first. He's trying to find the trade, but there's too many bodies here for Vegas Legion. They're able to come out on top in those engagements, and that final 25 should be theirs. And off the rotation, LAG, they're all spawning out towards cantinas. You have to try to win this gunfight because Vegas are here already.
Yeah, this is great routes from Vegas. By the way, I have no idea where Arstie's cruise missile just went. It just went into an absolute abyss inside of the Elephant Room. I guess maybe that's the reason why. I have no idea. Oh, Temp up close. Able to find one on Joe to Thieves. The rest of the teammates look to set up toward the back alley. Clay able to find his cutoff kills as well. It is an all-out brawl, but it seems like Vegas are able to get a foothold in that barbershop early. And well, Jay, on the other side for LAG, it looks like they've been in the barbershop a lot. Everybody with some fresh cuts. Maybe they're trying to jump in one last time before the major.
They're trying to. But right now, the setup for Vegas Legion is just too damn strong. You have two players who are focused on towards back alley. You're holding down your gunfights towards mid. There's only one player left on the point. Big Nate comes in from Arcees, and now those spawns are going to flip. So the Guerrillas have the potential to still put pressure on this hill, getting those close spawns towards back garage. With final 25 seconds, so a majority of the focus has to come down to the rotation. Gunfight's going to be too real. Winning that one versus Joe to Seas, while his teammates are still putting pressure over towards Barber.
Yeah, too real, making the veteran plays. And one thing that's so interesting, Jay, is that you've heard Temp a decent amount of talk about it on the flank. I mean, I think Clay has even touched on it in a few of these post-game interviews, is how great that Too Real has really been for the roster. I mean, yeah, it's crazy to think that this is his second year he joined. I mean, in the last qualifier last season for Florida, he happens to be the second oldest player on the team. And it feels like that veteran presence, despite being a second-year player, is there. The team's learning from this guy constantly in the practice.
Yeah, Too Real, he just makes the good plays for the squad. When you think about a map like Mercado, we saw it all day yesterday. He was just a guy who wasn't really getting a lot of kills on the map, but he was getting the important kills. The ones off the rotation to secure the spawns, to set up his teammates. And if you continue to do that, you will find some success as Vegas Legion are trying to find this final 30 seconds. But you see LAG, they're thinking a step ahead, man. That's 3 rotations in a row that they have not been the team initially off the rip. They're trying to change it right now. Big gunfight between Temp and that player on the Guerrillas.
Yeah, the last time around, this is where LAG really were able to stretch their legs out a bit, get off to a wonderful beginning, was over toward Cantina, and we're back here again. However, now toward the top side. Temp has been waiting patiently for a few of his teammates to arrive. He happens to run into the iron boots of Assault, who, as we said, is sporting a very nice haircut, by the way. Meanwhile, Arcees, the AR, is doing a great job of locking things down nice and early, and you can just tell, man, Vegas uncomfortable to get inside of that point. They are getting cleared out left and right as they finally have some forces again. There's 45 seconds to fight for. Nice stun. The tacticals, the utility is in play. Arcees eventually drops. Vegas contesting.
Vegas contesting, and they are eventually able to find the break. And if you are the Guerrillas who are continuously spawning out towards Hedge, you have to try to find this because already Vegas are setting themselves up properly for that next rotation. All out brawl in towards the cantinas. Exceed is able to find one with the stun. The pinch is here from Assault. He finds 2. That's 3 dead in the feed. Vegas now have to cut their losses, and you have to win these gunfights because you have the potential to spawn out. Arcee's putting pressure through the middle of the map.
He is indeed. I apologize, Assault. I was giving him the Iron Boots name just previously. Goes and hits the round. Lovely stuff. Coming in from Adam Assault Garcia. Mr. Beams as Arcees looks to get involved. As we said, final hill, the first set of rotations. We head toward the parking lot. It has been a back and forth brawl so far, but right now it is LAG sitting in the driver's seat. Nice snaps coming in from Assault. However, he gets made into a quick little 2-piece there from Temp. Legion looking to be in a prime spot to get right back in this game, Jay, and maybe even take the lead.
Oh yeah, Legion, they're perfectly set up right now. They know where the spawns are coming in right now for the Guerrillas. All out towards the garage side, and Arcees is trying to be the player to at least cause some problems through back alley with him finding that kill. Now the rest of the Vegas Legion players are going to spawn all the way across the map. He finds another one with a little bit of assistance, but Too Real's able to find 2. But was just a 4v1 on the point is now a 3v1. Too Real finds 3 in the feed. He stays alive. He's able to find that final 20 for Vegas as they take the lead.
Oh, the cushion killer is slicing and dicing. You love to see that. Too Real with some absolute fire reactions, whether with the gun or the knife, it does not matter. He is ready to go and does give Vegas Legion back the lead. A small one, a minute one at that, but it is a lead nonetheless. And in fact, you know what? We're talking a lot about Vegas. They find themselves up. Everybody's starting to fry. Let's go ahead and see how the comms are sounding. A check-in now with the Legion.
One shot. One shot.
And the rest are gonna spawn 10.
Yeah, tell me.
I'm about to go. That's 10. That's 10. I got you.
Yo, deep long. Yellow van.
I'm throwing one tunnel.
Out of the map. Yellow van is
One shot tunnel.
Yellow van. One shot on time. Exceed.
Not pushing it. Yo,
He's going back
it's a
to
huge
dark.
rotation. Stay like top.
Dark
corner dead.
Nice. We should play time.
I hear one
They
tunnel.
see this
Hold
one
on,
time.
fine. Arsees and Joe T.
just pulling Barber's head of the map. I'll just play time.
Lights
one shot. Alec.
Alec on a 5. One on hill.
I'll just focus
Tunnel
time.
side of hill. Stun. Didn't hit
I
him
see
with
the guy.
gun.
Lights.
I'm gonna come with you balcony side. Barber side.
I got the guy lights.
That's big time.
That was nice.
Shot
Last
me.
kid on hill.
One shot and ult.
You ready to chow?
Hit him again. One shot.
Ready to chow? I'm going.
Bottom. He's left corner bottom.
And top dead. One's bottom left. Bottom left.
Spawn RV. It's on RV.
One is RV. One is in hill. One is in hill. We can kill this kid. Hill, guys.
Door dead.
Nice. I'm gonna chow out.
No,
I'm with you.
I saw him umbrella.
I'm chowing umbrella. I'm
Might be.
dead. We go.
He's top. Inner stairs. One shot. Inner stairs. One shot. Nice. One is top. One shot. Last kid, Joe to see. Short.
Okay.
Time. It's good time. I have my short.
You can pinch Ace in
Elbow.
the
I short elbow.
Nobody has tunnel.
Last kid. Last kid.
He's close. Let's fucking go, Don.
Look at tunnel.
Absolutely. One's a bomb or something. Shot me in the back.
A bomb dead.
Nice. Good job. Iron down.
Short.
This time is huge. This time is huge.
I saw him tunnel.
Guarantee this time.
That was a great check-in there with the Vegas Legion, Jay. I mean, we're talking about how they have so many different things to consider inside of P1 as TJ wins a 1v1 now for the final 20 seconds. So many things that they have to consider, but you could hear how well coordinated that they were trying to break into Cantina. Last time around, that was the spot where LAG was able to grab the massive advantage, and now look at where we are, up by 50. Vegas Legion, one more solid break, and this game could be theirs.
Yeah, Vegas Legion see one more push, and Arsees, he's kind of putting himself out of this play. So he's going to be sitting towards back alley. They have the reads. They know that he's in this position. Too Real's able to take him down. So now the pinch is abound. Clay finds one, but Exceed is able to cut them down. He finds two, and Jodeci finds the last one, but it's on temp. He comes out on top. 40 seconds would look to be Guerrillas fully set up. Instantly get broken, and now Vegas is getting closer and closer to that 250-point mark.
Oh, it's another break. As you said, it's a 1v1, and it's Temp who's able to take it, snaking his heart away. He knows.
Good form. Good form.
He knows how important this map is. Guerrillas, they've got to make a break. They've got to find a gunfight victory. However, they're not going to be able to do it. And the positive, I guess you could say, Jay, is that for LAG, on the other side, Legion cannot win it at this hard point. It has got to be a hold and a half. Dig your heels deep, because it's going to take a lot of time, a lot of gunfight victories to even make this one close.
Yeah, they need to play perfect hard point from here on out, and so far their setup is beautiful. You have one player towards the back, but that player dropping Godhead, he may cause them some problems, but Joe Deceives and Nastie is able to cut down that pressure, find three, and now force Vegas Legion to try to attack from a different angle. This time they're getting the closer spawns towards 10. Assault reads it perfectly. Slowly but surely, LAG with the perfect setup. They're starting to climb right back into this one. All the kills in the feed currently for the Guerrillas.
They are indeed, but it is going to be a huge rotation. As we said, only 5 seconds needed for Vegas, so they could try to toy around with going for the final bit of contest. That's going to be 2 more, make it 3 more in the feed as the ARs have started to arrive from LAG. As we said, it's getting closer and closer, but this is where the focus really starts to come in at 10 seconds left over at that last hard point, but it's about the rotation. Currently, it is Vegas with numbers, but it's Arsees with the streak.
Arsees with the streak. He's just trying to get the information to his teammate who's working the back. Exceed is able to win that gunfight towards the pinch as well. He also finds one with the cruise. There's only 2 players left from Vegas. They can do it. They're going to be able to find this break.
Oh my God, they managed to break it. They managed to break the hard point, Vegas. They're going to be sweating it now. They're sweating.
Oh my.
Oh, Exceed now on 5 in a row. Make it 6. Vegas, they've surely not thrown away the game like this. Oh no, it's Joe. A few more points before this game is tied. Can Vegas make the break?
It's only Arsees. It's only Arsees, the last player here. The pitch is there from Vegas. You invest the streak, but it's not going to do enough. Vegas Legion close out the game. Nice sign of relief. They take map 1.
Oh my God. What was that? It was 245 to 170. I have no words for that. I mean, thank God for Legion making that final break happen when it did, because Jay, if they don't win a few of those last second 1v1s, that is an absolute collapse. As we said, it was 245 to 170. LAG goes on a run, makes it a 10-point game. And my word, sweat off the brow. I mean, you'll be happy to win that if you're Vegas, as we said, all things considered, but you're definitely going to go back and watch the VOD and see what mistakes you were making there toward the end of Barbershop, because my God, that was nearly a full-on collapse. But again, for Vegas, putting on the pressure toward LAG, Jay, as we said, they got to win it in 4. And with that being the case, for Guerrillas, they've got to be perfect now.
And if you are the Guerrillas, man, you're just thinking about that one play over towards the parking lot hill. You lose the game by 12 points. And with 2 real popping that 3-piece when there was 3 of your teammates on that side of the map. Eventually was a game changer in this one. What a great opening hard point between both of these two teams who are trying to put it all out on the line. Vegas trying to get their very first winners bracket going into the major ever since the organization has been formed. And the Guerrillas, even with a slow start, are just trying to have some opportunity to make their way into winners. What a stellar map number 1 between both of these teams. Vegas Legion just won a couple more rotations so the later half of this game to eventually close this one out, man. But that map number 1 is going to tell us anything about how this series is going to go, Lando. We're definitely going to a game 5.
It just totally caught me off guard, Jay, because we were, at that point as a caster, like, you're looking at it and you're like, okay, this one's probably going to be cleaned up. I mean, LAG have got to play perfect hardpoint, and they nearly did it. I mean, they nearly play perfect hardpoint. TJ ends up finding the last 2, and from there, Legion relief is what they feel. It's not, crazy, hyped up, fist bumps, even though they're not in the same room, but you see it there from Clayster. All right, 1 down.
Take a breath, old man.
2 more to go.
Take a breath.
2 more to go. We can't be doing this to Clay at his old age, Jay. Can't do it.
Can't. You think about Vegas Legion so far throughout the season, they can never have like a cruise control hardpoint. All these hardpoints that they have played, a majority of them are always like a deficit of 50 points. That's where they are playing very, very close hardpoint versus a lot of these teams, but they're able to clutch up on the very end. Now put themselves up 1-0 into the series, going into an LSCLO search and destroy, where these guys have some history. Last time these two teams matched up, it went all the way to a game 5. The Guerrillas were able to take it in a 6-2 fashion on that LSCLO search and destroy. They switched it around this time. They put it towards the game 2. And now if you are the Guerrillas, the same way they were versus Florida yesterday, you have to respond in this search and destroy.
Yeah, and that's the worrisome part, right? That we said coming into this series, and we're talking about kind of the outlook, right, for LAG. As we talked about it, they need to close it out in 3 or 4. If they lose that opening hardpoint, now they've got to face off against Legion in this game 2 search destroy, where, as you said, Jay, for LAG, they'd have some good history versus Vegas, but I mean, this has just been a lights out search destroy team all season long. Like, it feels like Vegas has the chance to just absolutely roll you into searches unless your name is Atlanta FaZe. For the Guerrillas, right, they've seen more success in search and destroy lately. It feels like the shortcomings in hardpoint have allowed for them to actually improve in S&D and in control. What do they need to do here, right, for LAG? What do they need to try and accomplish versus, as we said, one of the best S&D teams in the game in Vegas?
Well, they are a stellar team on their attacking rounds. Whenever they got bombed down, we all know when they get that bomb down, post-plant situations, about an 80% win rate. But their struggles come on the defensive side. That's where they need to be able to change this game, because we know Vegas, they like to play slow and steady. And on a map like LSCLO, TJ can't really make a lot of plays because the map's not small. He can't put himself in ratty corners to find that first blood easily. It's always going to be about the trading situation. So you see the stats right there from the Guerrillas. Great on the attacking, but they struggle on the defense. So if you are the Guerrillas, it's all about that defense. You can slow down a couple plays from your defensive side by just putting a couple players in towards the site, but you need to set the tone early into the search and destroy so you have Vegas make some rounds adjustments early.
See how it works out. As we know, for LAG, Jay, the strategy for them is all about those fast plants, and feels like every time that you and I have casted it, when they're on LSCLO, every team in the opening defense just quickly rushes right into the warehouse, making sure that that bomb cannot get down for free. And we know that the objective is going to sit firmly on the back of Joe to seize, but a slower look for both sides. I mean, at least in terms of LAG, rather. Vegas make their presence felt. And really, now the question calls for Guerrillas. Can they find that opening first blood? Can these tacticals, can the utility give information? Or will TJ be able to strike? Exceed's able to snap with the sniper off the start, and now the pressure comes on to TJ. Can he win the gunfight? The answer will be no. 2v4.
2v4 now, but Too Real at least puts himself in a great position towards bottom. Kegs, Clay is able to line it up, take down Assault, make it a 3v4. You get all the information onto this player on site. The nade is to be able to connect, but it does not. He's not able to find that kill. Now it's all Clay in the 1v2.
Clay, snipe in hand. Shots are coming through the walls. Oh my God, I thought he was about to fire that bullet. Would it have killed Arshnies? I don't know. Pistol is out and LAG prepare. And right now for Clay, it's just a matter of will they try to push this out? Will they get a tad over aggressive? Utility tossed once more. The sniper bullet will rain forward, but the Guerrillas should win this round. They need to win this. Thank God they checked that. Wow. This is way too close, Jay. These are way too close in situations right now. I can't handle it.
Yeah, that was a very, very close round right there. If you're the Guerrillas, somebody just throw a body or just go for the double chow because you know he has a sniper and pistol in hand. Unless he hits a collat or something like that. Finds the ace on the round. That's the only way that Clay's able to clutch on up, but almost got a little scary as he stuck towards the defuse. Just think about it. Maybe if he would have probably hopped it a little bit earlier, he probably has a better chance, but with the time ticking, Guerrillas eventually find that final kill and get the first round on the board. Great on their attacks, but it's all about this defense right here.
As you said, the biggest focus for the Guerrillas is going to be on their defensive sides. We know rookies like to place themselves firmly inside of mattress room and that a bomb site. We'll see if Too Real and TJ manage to take him down. Once again, utility tossed, information found, that door is open. Shots continue to rain on forward. It could be Arshnies who's able to find that pick. The door has been open, so utility's absolutely been tossed when it comes down to lower light side. With that being the case, you can see for Vegas starting to establish a few players, get a bit more comfortable around the map and begin to make this attack forward.
Too Real's trying to work his way up with bomb. Finds himself in a great position towards Kegs. A lot of time is starting to tick down. You do have one player in TJ who does pop that dead silence. He's able to get behind enemy lines, so they might be waiting for this guy to make the play.
Joe to Thieves able to answer on the first, as you called it. TJ on the flank, needs to get here soon. Few kills beginning to happen, waiting for his opportunity to strike. Where's he at? He's right in front of you, but Exceed! Exceed has got two, and does he find the third? I believe so. Absolute snaps coming in from Exceed, as we should be able to watch his perspective at the end. And he's shaking his head too. He had no right to win most of those gunfights.
C just made that play happen. Snaps onto TJ, gets the timing onto Clay, and then picks up the tack for the final gunfight onto Temp. What a great play from the young man. I thought if you were TJ in that situation, once Clay finds that first player in towards sight, you got to hit it, man. You can't hesitate on that push. Just got to fly in and try to find that kill, but Exceed shuts it down. Now finds himself on a 4-3, 2 kills away from Internet Cruise.
We're 2 rounds in, and Clay is the only player who has a kill for Vegas. That has to change, Jay. You know, this isn't an OpTic Texas Huke on LSCLO situation. Somebody else has got to get some kills. Need a bit of an answer. See if they can manage to find it as we jump into another very slow starting LSCLO Search Destroy round. However, you've got to be careful because at least for LAG, they've got somebody who is just on the cusp of going for the challenge, and that is TJ.
Yeah, TJ sitting himself nice in towards top money. Just waiting for the pressure to develop on the side of the Guerrillas as they're going to fly in towards A. Too Real's able to at least cut down one. Make it a 3v3, but that bomb is now going to get planted. But they're still waiting for TJ because they know that this guy likes to hit his routes. That silence now going to get invested.
He could find Exceed. Going for the route. Does the timing work out for him? Yes, it does. Exceed spotted him. I don't think he did. I thought for a moment that his player might have spotted TJ. However, this is the hottest flank that we're going to see today. That's a pick, and it's on the bomb carrier. Another one will fall, and now it is up to Assault in a 1v3, and he drops 2. A few more players for Vegas are able to put some kills up on the board, so Clay is now joined in the kill column. And what do you know? When that happens, Vegas grabs the round.
Yeah, Vegas just read the setup perfectly. Once the Guerrillas are able to find that first bullet, or at least to trade in towards a bomb, Felt like they just wasted a lot of time when they made that play call to wrap it back all the way towards B, which eventually allows TJ to set up that dead silence play, works his way all the way through courtyard. He's able to find 2 in those final moments and then set up Temp for the last. Just a little too long in that situation if you are the Guerrillas. Get the bomb down. You're great post plant. Let's do that.
See if they can learn from a bit of their mistakes. Jumping around number 4 this time is Exceed and Thieves, not inside of the site, but just on the outskirts. Looking for the timing and waiting for the window of opportunity. Arsenes will expire a few bullets, and that's right when they give the green light there to the rookies. Exceed eventually ends up getting traded on out for Thieves. He is still there to answer. Man advantage for Guerrillas, and now it is all up to TJ. Tagged up and nearly bagged up. Found out and taken down. LAG quickly answer.
I just love the army of 2 plays that we have out of Thieves and Exceed. It's like, when you see one of them, you know the other one is pretty close. If they're not going to be playing in towards sight, both of those guys are trying to make a play together on the opposite side of the map as they find the timing by pushing through courtyard. Exceed is able to at least win the first gunfight through bottom kegs. Not able to find a trade, but he sets up Thieves to take down 2Real, not allow that bomb plant to go down, and eventually clutch up on the man advantage. So far, that's 2 defensive round wins for the Guerrillas. Great work.
I'm not a great lip reader, Jay, but I just saw Exceed, like his face light up. It sounded like when somebody called a strat. So I was curious if we could see something nice and tricky to kick off this round. You did see a few nades tossed over the top. So that being the case, other than the utility placement, I don't know if anything's really out of the ordinary so far, but the round is still nice and early. Minutes still to go on the clock. And to no surprise, Vegas, they are ready and waiting for anybody who tries to jump inside of that A-bomb site.
He had a double stack in towards A. Temp and 2Real trying to hold down both angles as 2Real's getting all these sound cues of multiple players towards the right side of his screen. So now time is starting to tick, but pay attention to your minimap. Arsenes slowly working his way up through radio tower. We've seen this guy make this play when they decide to push through courtyard and make their way towards B. And that might be the play call here with 30 seconds.
Yep, Exceed pops dead silence. Then begins to run on out. TJ not able to hear him, not able to spot him.
Oh,
nearly goes for the second snap. Clayster is able to trade, but he does reveal his position. Now for the Guerrillas, what does the strategy look to be? They've made some presence felt on the flank, and now for Vegas, tuck yourself in a corner and prepare for the attack. When's it going to come in and where at? Temp ends up falling. Clay again is still able to put in some work, and 2Real does not necessarily 180. And now it is all on to Clay. He's got to do it solo.
I'll lift up the Clay in the 2v1.
Oh,
finds the first. Gets the sound cues where he is. 30 seconds. He has the opportunity to clutch up. He has that dead silence.
Oldest player in the league versus the youngest. And it's going to be the Rook who's able to stop what could have been another big collapse. Clay nearly with the clutch. It also would have been for the ace. But Thieves able to spot him. I don't know, Jay. That just felt like there was a lot of pressure put on Clayster's shoulders there at the end.
Oh yeah, without question. Like, Tura, what we doing, baby? Like, all we gotta do is 7 seconds on the clock. All you gotta do is take that one player off bomb, not go for the ballerina spin. Woohoo! When you find yourself through the doorway, could have definitely made that round a lot easier for Clay.
Look cool. It did look cool, but it would have looked a lot cooler if he would have found 2 there. But you know, at least
those are good points. Good points for the presentation, at least, but not the execution, man. We gotta get that kill off bomb.
Oh, we definitely do. 2 and 5. As we said, I mean, really. Okay.
What the?
No.
Wait a minute.
Jay.
Oh, what?
Can we get a PC check, please? Yeah, I'm gonna need a PC check. Yep.
What?
All right, well, 2v4. I have never seen something like that, Jay. That precise? That is unbelievable. All right, Assault Arsenes. Stunned as to how they have quickly entered into this situation, yet have yet to see a single player. Clay. Okay, Clay just cleans it up himself. That's what happens when 2Real is able to snap through walls. Can we see that again, by the way?
We got him, man, because that is unbelievable. Is he hacking? Like, do we got to submit a clip or something to get this guy banned or something? Because, like, he lines it up perfectly. Imagine being the Guerrillas right there.
Wait, where did he
All right,
go?
we got A-bomb. We got A-bomb, guys. No brainer. We got the same 2 guys in the setup. You know, Thieves and Exceed are going to be in towards that site And we're watching it push through the door. Oh, wait. Wait, he wallbanged us perfectly? Like, you just can't read that play if you are the Guerrillas. Unless you are too real. Basically just saw through that entire wall.
Wait, what just happened?
I couldn't believe it, Landon. I still can't believe it.
Jay,
What a round right there.
He just disconnected from the game.
Oh, did he just get banned live?
I have no idea. I have no idea what just happened. Understandably so, a timeout has been requested. We have no idea what is happening, but we're just going to enjoy some COD. A 3v4, and there is surely no way that Las Vegas clutched this up. There's no way.
Oh, well, 3v3 now, making it 3v2 as Thieves is able to find one onto Temp. He still have the 2-stack in towards the side. TJ takes the fly in. Clay finds the first. Doesn't spot the player behind the couch as Thieves is able to line up the last two.
I'm so confused, Jay.
Me too, bro. I don't know. I don't know what that was, bro.
I know we got to talk about that round. I'm not 100% sure what's going on in terms of, like, obviously LAG is currently playing a 4 versus 3 at the moment. But yeah, I'm very confused because we were looking at that highlight of 2Real obviously taking 2 players down through the wall. And then he just stands up and I'm like, wait, did they just win the game? No, they obviously didn't win the game because they're down. I mean, he's just putting on a sweatshirt. He's getting warm.
He can't believe it. I can't believe that just happened.
I can't either. Well, we're going to figure out what's exactly going on, folks. We're still, trying to outline what is exactly happening. Did 2Real just put on his sweatshirt backwards, by the way? Anyway, regardless of that, we're still figuring out what exactly has occurred. So, okay, so it's okay. Sounds like 2Real lagged out, which is interesting. But regardless, though, Jay, we got to talk about that search and destroy, man. It's wild stuff up to this point.
Oh, yeah, without question, man. Obviously, both of these teams doing what they need to do. When you talk about the rotations coming in from Guerrillas, setting up properly, unless you find 2Real who can just magically see through walls on a round. Vegas Legion, they have just been starting slow in this search and destroy. We've seen that first round. Neither team has dead silence. Neither team has a trophy system. So you want to try to feel out how they're trying to play these setups. But it's Vegas Legion so far, finding a couple openings, not really leading to a lot of success, though, because the Guerrillas, they're winning their defenses.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, folks, we do apologize for the brief delay in the middle of the game. However, we're going to work everything out, make sure that it is all squared moving into this game 2 search and destroy. But stick tight. We'll be back in just a moment. Discord, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back after what has been a very interesting series up to this point. Jay, well, the last round that we saw officially was 2Real finding some interesting kills, and then from there, his game just completely crashed, and we've yet to see him since. But looks like that sweatshirt is on, I believe, the right way, and we're about to get back into this game. I believe it's 4-2, LAG. How you feeling, buddy? All right?
Yeah, I had to take a breather, man. I had to take a breather because I could not believe that last round. I was just dying of laughter because I'm thinking about my experience so far in ranked play. When I play with some of the big hitters out here who have the opportunity to get people live banned, you see a play like that, it's a little fishy. You send that in immediately, and I thought that that was the case, but 2Real.
His PC ran hot, Jay. His PC.
Yeah, it ran a little hot, man.
Not.
Couldn't believe it.
Maybe 2Real or 2 not real. I have no idea, but... insane stuff. But we are back into it. 2Real is in the game, and if I am LAG, I am also terrified at the same time, Jay, because if he can wallbang us through there, can he wallbang us pretty much everywhere? I have no idea.
Gotta be careful going in towards this A site if you are the Guerrillas.
No, we're going.
Here we go.
We're going.
The Guerrillas are up. They're up 4-2. And back. It's basically resetting in this round as no teams are going to have dead silence to work with, no trophy systems to work with, so you can't stack in towards that A site. Guerrillas have full control of it. Xyz's able to start it off with the first blood, make it a 3v3.
And Arshty's able to crack out the sniper bomb. Still yet to go down. Currently in the hands of Joe Thieves. Still like to lay down the objective soon, but as we said, just considering the 2Real is prowling around the map, it could be a matter of time before he begins to strike. Bomb planted. And into the 3v3 we go.
3v3, Joe Thieves earns that trophy system. Assault is able to take down Temp, that player who was trying to work his way through courtyard. So now it's on to 2Real, who eventually does get spotted. Assault finds a second on the round. Reads the play onto Clay. Clay at least makes it a manageable one in a 1v2. Dead silence earned.
Yeah, the problem though is that time continues to tick away. It continues to run down. Clay looking everywhere, through the pool tables, through the kegs, whatever it may be, but he's got to check over at the mattresses. LAG able to handle business. They wipe away 2Real off the map, and from that point, they're feeling confident. That's now 5-2, by the way.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Taking 2Real off the map, because anything's possible with that guy still trying to play, but Assault just reads the plays perfectly, finds the pinch onto from Temp, then finds the kill onto 2Real. Then they get the information onto Clay, pushing out towards bottom pool. Sets up Joe Thieves to find a final kill on the round. Is now going to put the Guerrillas at game point.
I know we're having a hard time, Jay, just trying to get focused back, get into this game.
It's hard, man. It's hard.
It's very hard, but we got to give a lot of props to the Guerrillas. As we said, their SD has seen quite a bit of improvement. Like we said, so early on, they were, pretty much just one-dimensional hardpoint team, but they have clearly turned up their game in Search and Destroy. And how about Arshty's after that wonderful hardpoint performance, despite the loss? Is trying to close things out here. Goes for the early flank. Dead silence has been popped. We'll see if Assault can manage to put through another. Yes, he will. A 2v3. Another man-down situation here for Vegas.
But 2Real's just going to commit towards getting this bomb down. They do get the information that Clay's going to be playing over towards Keg, but not the hit marker with the nade. Sets up Joe to take him down. So now it's 2Real, who can shoot through walls. Left in a 1v3.
Okay. Can he do it again? They do it again. Spots Assault. That's an easy one. Not able to find the other. Joe Thieves with a few extra bullets. I saw that tweet near the commercial break, Joe Thieves. Don't think that I did not. We got some fun happening. We got Arshty's even knifing his teammate, but that will be the game. Punches in the digits. And there it is. 6-2. Clean work. A wild round. Hilarity. Everything in between. We got ourselves a series now, Jay.
Yeah, Guerrillas just came out and did exactly what they needed to do in the Search and Destroy, which is respond. They do a great job on their attacking round. Slow and steady wins the race. You get the bomb down, you find a lot of success. But the biggest turning point in the Search and Destroy was those defenses. They clutched up on a couple, forced Vegas Legion to try to win some attacking rounds where they usually tend to struggle. But eventually they could not find any success. Guerrillas closed it out 6-2, tied the series up at 1. And now keep in mind, this match is still for that winner's bracket, man.
That's right.
If you are the Guerrillas, you want to try to get it done in 4 to at least put yourself in a better map percentage win rate than the Vegas Legion. You will be able to overtake them. But even if they do get to a map number 5, with the other squads that they still have, You have to at least LA Thieves eliminate themselves from that bracket because they didn't go 0-2 in their last 2 matches. It's all on NYSL and OpTic. If either one of those squads go 0-2 throughout this stage and the Guerrillas win 3-2 in this series, then that eventually will knock them out. So if you are the Guerrillas, good work for them to at least tie the series up at 1 after the second map. But you're still thinking about the big picture. You're trying to close it out in 4.
Yeah, without a doubt. Looks like we learned a lot in that search destroy. We learned that LAG is still solid in the game mode, and we all learned that we all need to get the pillow out. Make sure that you've all got yours, because I know that I have mine. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 games done. It's a 1-1 series, but when we come back after the break, we are going to some control. Make sure and stay with us, as Fortress will be on your screens in just a moment.
The Call of Duty League is presented by the GMC Hummer EV Pickup, the world's first all-electric super truck. Upgrade your game with the SCUF, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Howdy, friends, and welcome back to what has been a very interesting series up to this point between the Vegas Legion and the LA Guerrillas. Jay, I am pillowed up. I'm not kidding. I'm casted with a pillow from now up until the end of time. But currently, we've got ourselves a 1-to-1 game going into Fortress Control. Got to refocus a little bit. Wake me up, Jay. What is the focus for Fortress Control for both these teams, the records, all the wonderful stuff?
Oh, this is everything for both of these squads. For Vegas Legion, this has been their auto veto all season long. They only had the opportunity to play it 3 times. They vetoed it 11 times out of all the series they had played. That is 55% of the time they are getting rid of this map. And then on the opposite side for the Guerrillas, we know that they struggle in control. Both squads do tend to struggle in control, but the biggest thing that stands out for me when you're talking about the Guerrillas is their slaying, man. They still have a team KD of a 0.8. The only player over a 1.0 KD in control is Assault. Everybody else is kind of struggling. And on a map like Fortress, we know what this is all about. Yeah. All guys that are playing rank play out there. It's very, very difficult to try to win some attacking rounds. You're always just trying to play for those segments. But on your defenses, those have to be guaranteed. You have to be able to set up the trap.
Yeah, Jack can confirm after playing quite a bit of ranked, in the silver surfing myself. I could say the Fortress Control is difficult at any level when it comes down to the attacking side. Obviously, if you have 2 of your superstar SMGs that are at 0.7s, it is never going to be an easy time. However, off the gates, we are into that A objective nice and early, and they are primed to maybe grab that opening segment nice and fast. Yes, indeed. 1 segment grabbed, and now the first bit of contest will come in for Joe to Thieves. He gets wiped away. You get awarded for 1, and can they make their way into B? Only player here is Assault.
Yeah, and Assault, he's read the play beautifully. He knows what his player is going to attack from, but big nade kill comes in from TJ. So at least find that trade. And now you put the Guerrillas in towards the trap. You have everything cut off. Big kill comes in from Joe to Seed, but Exceed with that team nade is now going to slow down that pressure. They're trying to get out towards stables. They're trying to get out towards maps. But so far, Vegas Legion, they're cutting them down.
Yeah, after that opening start there from LAG, from since then it has been pretty much solid work. However, Guerrillas find a second window of opportunity, and now can they find their second segment? You see a few of those nades tossed there from Temp as he looks to get involved. As we said, every segment means a lot in Fortress Control, and right now Vegas are trying to prevent that full-on capture at the A zone. Joe Thieves ends up finding 2. Meanwhile, he's made a decent dent at A, and that will open up the lane once more from Assault. What can he do at B?
Yeah, Assault's going to be the only player at B. He's just trying to stall time for his teammates to try to get out through double doors, but Temp did a great job of cutting them down on that side of the map as Clay finds the final kill onto Assault. So now the reset button has been pushed for the Guerrillas. Have to try to fight out of your base again. Big trades going back and forth, but they're just trying to be sneaky. You have some map presence over towards that B side. They're trying to find a couple kills, so at least extend that.
Well, the third opportunity. And they make it 3 for 3 in segments. That would be a wonderful start to this control. As Joe Thieves eventually does receive a bit of fire. Exceed finally is able to get on the board with his first kill. As he's starting to make a bit of noise over at that B zone. As we said, for Vegas, a lot of things to think about. A lot of players that have been in your base so far throughout our opening round. But can they have another answer, another opportunity? Plenty of lives still to throw at this one. And right now for Clay, he looks to refocus. He's even going back and forth in the player cam. One player's made his way to the backside. That's going to be Exceed again. Try and beat a thorn in the side. Clay eventually challenged, eventually falls, and that will be the A zone capture from LAG. Good work.
That's big plays coming specifically out of Exceed. He was the only player that stayed alive on the opposing side of the map, and now finds himself on a 5 spree. 1 kill off of earning that cruise missile, and the Guerrillas are currently up by 2 lives. So you have a minute to work with. It's all about starting off these gunfights on the right foot. So they're going to put pressure over towards the P1 street side. TJ finds the first, trying to find the second on to Exceed. Can't pick up that cruise missile, but at least he's still pushing for it.
It's all about that second kill right now for the Guerrillas. They look to get a few down in stride. Obviously, the close spawns are there for Vegas, given the fact that this is control after all. And 2Rail coming in from the top side is able to wipe away 2. Now a 6v6. In terms of lives, 30 seconds to go. You got to have some bit of pressure over at that B zone just to make any play happen. Well, Joe Thieves could be one player to make the flank. You can see for Vegas, they are ironed up and ready to go. Another pick found. And Clay laying down the shots once more. It feels like for the Guerrillas, they cannot get a solid look at it. Farthest pushed up 2 players are going to be Arsonies.
Wait a minute.
Exceed. However, they're able to win a few. 2 Real and Clay able to answer back. Exceed. He'll jump on the point. He gets made quick work of, and that is the way the round will close. LAG 3 segments. So, well, they had a few decent looks, Jay, and it's not around at the end of the day.
Not around at the end of the day, but at least you complete those 3 segments, like you said. It's so difficult to try to bake out of your spawn. Vegas Legion, another sign of relief. They were able to clutch up on that defensive round and at least put themselves up 1-0 on the map. Now they have to be thinking about, how do we complete 3 segments? How do we try to tie it up in that department, just in case it does get to a round number 5? It's all about this initial push, though. Big days coming in from the Guerrillas. Are there any trophy systems to work with on the side of Vegas? No, there isn't. So you have to play nice and slow if you are Temp.
Temp eventually does get found out. Meanwhile, for Vegas, the 3 players are sitting firmly at that A zone. I say firmly, but with the great assault, they instantly get wiped away. A clean 4 down off rip.
Clean 4 dead, and now Vegas Legion have to try to find an opening. You have 2 players from the Guerrillas who are stacked up in towards map. They know where the pressure is coming in from. Big kill, though, taking out Arsony Sword Stables. Now you can try to get out towards the left side. Jodeci still cutting them down in towards maps. Assault from top is able to find the 3rd, and now the only farthest player pushed up is going to be 2 Real. You just want to try to maintain this position, find a couple kills to get your teammates out.
And 2 Real ends up jumping in toward the top, at least finds 1, but had to sacrifice his life in the process. That's really just what you can't have on the attacking side. You gotta fight a few kills, stay alive, but they have not been able to do that at all. Only 3 deaths so far in this control round from the Guerrillas as they look to hold firm here in round number 2. Maybe one last push at this if you are Vegas, but it's Assault from the top side as he looks to maybe continue on that spree. Maybe make things easier for them in a future attack. But this is just, I don't know, buddy. Fortress Control at its finest. Not a segment awarded. The final few seconds will begin to echo away. And now you've got yourself a sizable lead if you're LAG thinking long-wise.
Yeah, now you're in the lead if you are the Guerrillas. And also Assault does find himself on a 5 spree. 1 kill off of earning that cruise. But for all my teammates in ranked, that's what it looks like when you're setting up properly for defense on Fortress Control. Everybody holding their angle. You're filling in the lanes when you need to, when teammates do drop. But it's all about staying in control of that 50-yard line on the map and not allowing them to get out of their base, as Guerrillas do it flawlessly. Find themselves up by now 3 segments.
Yeah, we'll see if Assault can earn that streak. As we said, I mean, that could be maybe what nets LAG an even better opportunity here on the attacking side. We talked about what do you need. You need to find those kills, but streaks, you will take them without question. Arguably, the most important spot in the entirety of MW2 is maybe having a streak in the attacking side of Fortress Control, but able to earn it on that 6th spree now for Assault. We know that he is one to pressure quite a bit over at B, and right now with the free lane, the issue is that his teammates are not able to win their fights. It is a clean 3 down. Assault able to stay alive. We'll see what he can do with it. Attack toward bottom maps eventually evaporated. Good work there from 2 Real to drop him. Look at LAG getting more dense as Jodeci finds 2 there.
Oh, it's a big 2-piece out of Jodeci to relieve that pressure in towards map, but TJ finds 2 of his own. Now it's going to slow down that play. Coming in from the Guerrillas. You have 1 player in Exceed who's taking his sweet time in towards close. The farthest player is pushed up for LAG. Wants to just try to wait for his teammates to find an opening on the kill. Try to find the timing on towards TJ. And he might have just done it.
Exceed might have, however, he opts to the point, and TJ says, wait a second, where are you at? Okay, and Clay ends up getting taken down, so Exceed doing his best, trying to be somewhat of a distraction. No segments yet for the Guerrillas. Can they finally hop on one? Assault is at least able to find a double, so that will open things up now for the Guerrillas. Can they add on another segment, as Vegas have got to get on this objective soon?
FaZe, they got to go, man. They're giving up a lot of this time as the first segment is about to come in. Great work from Exceed and Assault to at least complete the first one. You're still gonna have TJ here trying to put the pressure on. He finds 1, but the teammate comes in from Clay. Now there's only 1 player left here. It's Clay. He has to try to go big, and he does. The vet finds the 2 kills, not to allow that play to get out of hand. But at least if you are the Guerrillas, you complete those 2 segments. Now I'm gonna put them up by 5. With only 10 seconds left, this is looking like a Vegas round.
And that's a great distraction, though, from Arcees. You see, he hops on that B point for a moment, and from there, all right. right. It was a good effort. It was a good attempt. Darcy's trying to make the veteran-like plays there at the end. Distract Vegas, get him out of focus. However, while he does that, Legion still end up winning their gunfights. Great little spree here at the end from Clay. But same thing, man. They do allow for one segment to go the opposite direction. I believe that's now 4-0 in favor of LA, or 5-0 in place. 5. So now for Vegas, you've got big work to do. That's for sure. Hey, Toronto. Hey,
Toronto.
How you guys doing?
Yeah, now if you are Vegas, you find yourself down by 5 segments. So it's either you're winning this attacking round and closing it out in a 3-1, or you will have to try to at least win one of the attacking rounds in the last 2. As they're going to get their trophies down towards double doors, put a lot of pressure already over towards that A point. Going to force Assault to invest his crews.
See if we can deal with it. Flies it forward, cuts down TJ. The trophy was there, but it was not his friend in a sequence such as that one. So streak does get invested, and now for Vegas, can they manage to make something happen on the back end? As we said, they lose a player, but ever since then, they managed to stay up. That's going to be 3 straight kills. It is 6 in a row now for Clay. So for Legion, you very well could see that cruise missile invested it nice and early as they look to get their first segment of the game online, managing to do that. And Clay, well, he's continuing on with the spree. Now at 7 in a row, the Vaznev is out for the 30-year-old. Oh, the heat check ought to exceed. And while that does not happen, Jay, objective work done. First,
that's good work right there.
On top of 2 other ones, that's another minute added.
Yeah, it's another minute added, man. Now 2 minutes to work with, and you're already outslaying the Guerrillas in this situation. You are pushed out of your base. It's all about finding these kills from here on out. So they don't want to get put in towards the trap. Trying to find an opening. Exceeds shuts down Clay. Trying to put the pressure over towards P1 side. TJ shuts down 1, Temp finds 2. So this is where you can start to hit that go button. Start to take control of art.
It's just really just all about map control, right? I mean, for Vegas, every time they find a kill, they push on forward.
Big kills.
2 big ones. Now for Tej, it's going to be a 4v2, making it down 2 inside of the point. Last player in the back is Arsony's. All he can do, I was going to say, is lie in wait. However, TJ somehow gets killed from that spot again in an absurd way. Clay sends himself forward. He eventually drops. 1 segment done at B. They did indeed. And can Vegas quickly enter back in toward B is the question.
Oh, Vegas, they put themselves in a very, very great position. Currently up by 7 lives, a minute to work with, already completed 4 seconds. And keep in mind, Clay has that cruise missile. So you're gonna try to invest it right now. You get the information for your teammates of how they're gonna play this setup. Everyone in towards art. You can put the aggression on through the front, and that's exactly what they're gonna do.
That's great work. However, can they find the kills on top of it, Tej? Now that they win that gunfight, 2 real. Meanwhile, he's able to at least go for the trade, trying to stay alive. He forces his way in, and he ends up getting dropped. And with that, the streak does give a bit of information. It does open up a lane, but the Guerrillas end up closing themselves inside of cannons, and from there they explode into that B zone. One last good look at this if you're Vegas.
Yeah, and their setup is, it has a couple openings in it. Temp is able to find the first. TJ's gonna find the timing onto Jodeci's for the second. There's only 1 player on the point. You have to try to find this trade. 14-7 in lives remaining, make it 14-6.
Oh, and 2 real ends up falling. It's a quick 2-for-2 trade. Temp, 1 player is past that 50-yard line. Like you said, he has got to slay. He's got to walk away with the kill, knowing how valuable that his life is in a situation like this. He's lost Clayster. Now it's up to him. The doors are being closed, but can the window of opportunity still be there? Don drops. 3 seconds to go. Can anybody from Vegas hop on this point? Time will expire, and Tej doesn't go for the dolphin dive. LAG hold it down, and with that, I believe, Jay, that they hold on to that defense going at around 5.
Yeah, they definitely do hold on to that defense. You saw right there, Vegas, they were just trying to invest everything. It was close it out there. That's what they were thinking in their minds, but the Guerrillas with the perfect setup, able to at least answer with a couple kills in those final moments to secure the defensive round and now get another defensive round going into this round number 5. Vegas Legions need to have the same exact start off. They need to have the same exact start off if you are Vegas. To send 3 players out towards double doors. Let's try to get A out of the way nice and early. But it's all about these initial gunfights. You have to win them.
Yeah, you absolutely do. All about the opening breaks, especially in these round 5s. What can Vegas do here? As utility is exchanged, the nades are tossed on out. Assault, who by the way sits on a 4 spree, could have another another streak to work with. He does get found out. That's 2 nice picks off the rip here for Legion, so they're already making that A zone fly.
Already doing a great job. The exact same play that led to success the first go around. They do the same exact thing. They find a couple more kills. The second tick is about to come in. Clay's lining up. Arseny's in towards top double. And now LAG are just forced to give up this 8-point play defense over towards B for a minute. It's all about maintaining art and 2Real. He's trying to cause some problems. Jumps up to top double window. He's able to find the first.
Yes, indeed. This is the best start that I've seen to an attack in a very long time. They've lost 2 players. They've got 2 minutes to work with, and they've got 2Real. Can they make something happen? Can they cause some havoc in the back of the map? The final attack. Can anything occur? Can 2Real make something happen as his 2 teammates are able to find a few kills off the rip? That's going to be a clean 3 down, and into that B zone we go. And now LAG begin to make their prowl. They've got to jump back into the zone nice and quick. Joe deceives for 2, and now it is all up to 2Real. Can he stay up? Can he
wait a minute?
One of these segments online?
Oh!
Not able to do it, but gave it his best shot.
Oh, with 2Real putting a lot of pressure, though. When he finds those 3 kills, it allows his teammates to get out of the base, and they already find himself in a great position. Clay towards that forklift is able to cut down 2. So now you're going to spawn out towards cages. These gunfights are going to be big. Exceeded assault. They're able to at least find 2 of their own. But TJ and Clay combined for 2. They're able to stop that clock.
They are indeed. You can see for LAG, they're just trying to close off that spigot of spawns right now for Vegas. 2 men up, and that's all they're going to have. No reinforcements for the moment. LAG retake, and they hold. 1 segment awarded for Legion. Jay, this has been wonderful work for them so far throughout this game. Currently up 16 to 11 in lives. Can they have another heroic push?
They need one, because right now the Guerrillas, they're playing really passive. They're not trying to play for that map control, not trying to set up the trap. They're letting Vegas come out for free, but it worked right into their hand, man. That's 3 dead already in the feed. When you find those 3 kills, now it's time for everybody to put the pressure on. They wipe the lives remaining and make it at least 12 to 10 now. Because now Vegas Legion have a tall task ahead to try to get out of their base.
Yeah, as we said, they've managed to make some magic happen, but boy, do they need it. As you said, those lives have quickly started to sway the other direction. Nearly even. 35 seconds to go. In Vegas, find an answer. As they may have to do it through lives. We'll see if they can gain a bit of map positioning, but every time they do, they just continually are cut down. Exceed, just trying to be annoying, opens up a door, gets a gunfight win, and closes it. As Vegas Legion very well, they have seen their window of opportunity begin to slip. Not a great game 3 for Arseny's, but at the end of the day, it looks like it could be a map win nonetheless. 5 seconds to go, and nobody from Vegas is going to get into that objective. Guerrillas will hold and keep that winner's bracket dream alive, Jay. As we said, they got to close it out in 4, and now they've guaranteed themselves an opportunity to make it happen. What a wild round 5 that was.
Guerrillas just clutched up, man. They just clutched up. I thought Vegas Legion on both of their attacking rounds set themselves up perfectly. You close out A, you find yourself up by 6 or 7 lives with full art control. At that point, all it comes down to is the slaying. When you're maintaining art, that's the biggest position on your attacking rounds, because at that point, the team on defense, they're not going to probably risk lives of trying to flood out art to take you out from top rails. They're all just going to play around it. So when you put yourself in that position, you have to be able to take advantage of it. But once that player dropped and LAG maintained that map control right back into their favor, they put Vegas Legion in the trap, man. What a control that we have between both of these teams. But if you are Vegas Legion, that one's got to sting, man. That very first defensive round is going to come back to bite you. And eventually it did. Now the Guerrillas find themselves up 2-1 in the series.
Yeah, it's just a credit. As we take a look through the highlights, it's just a credit to the way that LAG started off this game, how great that opening attack was, or rather their opening first few rounds were. It was excellent work there from LAG, and that will come to benefit them in the end. Well, it bites the other side of the screen in Vegas Legion. But as we talked about, Jay, LAG, a big spot. Can they win that control? They've managed to do it. And as we said, now we're not guaranteed to have a game 5. So with that being the case, they're up 2-1, a chance to close out Legion here in a 3-1 fashion. And when we talk about this next map that we're getting ready to have, I mean, historically, for this exact LAG lineup, this could be their favorite map in the entirety of this game.
Oh yeah, without question, man. Ever since this roster has been formed, this is a map they have looked stellar on that aBeZy hardpoint. They have an overall 3-1 record, but with this roster, 3-0, taking down a lot of the Titans that we have in the CDL. The most recent matchup that they did have was versus Atlanta FaZe. It went all the way down to the wire, 250 to 233. But one thing that they do best when it comes to that aBeZy hardpoint is their breaks. Second in breaks on this map, going up against a Vegas Legion who struggle in their breaks, 11th overall. So now if you are the Guerrillas, this is exactly the situation you want it to be in. Obviously, you wish you could close it out in a 3-0, but when you find yourself up 2-1 going into your best hardpoint map to control your own destiny and make it in towards that winner's bracket, you couldn't write the story better. Just comes down to them winning a couple rotations, but having that same success in their breaking.
It's a crazy sequence. I mean, we always know it, right? When we've had series like this previously throughout COD history, you know, just the level of pressure that you experience as a player. I know Assault's been in a spot like this, you know, similarly back at COD Champs in World War II, where they had to, you know, beat OpTic back in the day, and obviously not the same stakes at hand currently, but another spot where you just know what you have to do. You know that you have to clean up Vegas Legion. You come in with a bit more of momentum, a bit more of pressure on your shoulders at the same time. But as we said, for this LAG lineup, man, 2-11 in their last 13 hard points. Not great, but the positive for them is that they have a map, that of which they absolutely love. And the weirdest thing too is that they have not played this map, Jay, since the Major II Qualifiers. So when this team was going on, you know, the incredible run, starting things off flawless in hardpoint with the new lineup, aBeZy was one that they were playing consistently and constantly. And so we're hoping that maybe they can get back to that same form.
Yeah, they have to show that same exact form because teams do not want to test them on this map. Like I said, the last time that they played it was versus Atlanta FaZe all the way in January. We find ourselves in March now. Like, you can just tell when you're one of these teams that stand out on a specific map, and then you also take down Atlanta FaZe. In that situation, some teams probably do struggle on the map, didn't want to square up against them on their best hard point. So that's why they haven't had the opportunity to play it. But it gets into this series, and it couldn't be the best opportunity for the Guerrillas to potentially close this out 3-1. Vegas Legion, they need to find something, man. Too real, hit a couple more wall bangs.
That would be nice, right? Maybe that's what you need in a situation like this. So far, Assault has absolutely been killing it. A 1.4 right now so far throughout this series. Did some great work on the Mercado, but ultimately it was the control where he absolutely took over. They're nearly at a 2 KD. But as we said, right now for LAG, the opportunity to close it out. We saw the spirits are high. Guys are making jokes coming into this aBeZy HP. On the other side for Vegas, whether it's a strategy, if it's a player, what do you want to see most for Vegas Legion that couldn't allow for them to force the game 5 here?
In control of spawns, man. Just winning your rotation, setting yourself up for success, setting up properly for some of these money hills. So the main guy that I'm really looking at is the veteran of this squad. It has to be Clayster, the slow AR for this team. He's going to be the guy that tries to control the spawns for Vegas to try to force that game 5.
Exactly right. We talked about it coming into this series. The pressure that's on the shoulders of Clayster. The same thing for Arsties. We had that comparison. We went back and forth and talked about how Clay, in 2 months is going to be 31 years of age. Just put up his best overall series stats in that last one that they had. First, the Minnesota Røkkr, a 1.2. And right now, they're going to need that level of Clay. Clean shaven and looking like he's back in Black Ops 2. We'll see if he's able to light it up as we head toward P2. And right now for Vegas, Jay, they've got the spawns, and currently they've got the slays. Everybody on a 2 spree.
Oh, that's a perfect setup, perfect break right there from Vegas to win those gunfights over towards P2 and now influence the spawns for the Guerrillas all the way towards backside orange. They're trying to at least push out towards back kitchen. The Clay's the guy that's trying to cut them down. Big shots. Can he find a kill on the Ghosty? Yes, he can. Now he knows the pressure's coming in towards the back, but it's still Vegas Legion soaking a lot of time off a parking lot.
Yeah, this is a lot of time and a lot of free seconds at that, too, really. He's hunkered down. He's ready to go. However, does eventually get found out. That will open up an opportunity for Exceed. A big 1v1 for him to win. However, not going to happen. Legion hold on to the spawns, and that looks to be a full 60. As the final 15 seconds will begin to run on out. Now toward the ACs we go. One attacking side, or rather one attacking attempt that has been defeated. Can Vegas make this break happen as Legion look to begin their prowl, look to begin their process of elimination?
The Legion are trying to set up this break. Pushing from top AC. They know where Arcades is. They're able to find a trade. You got to invest all your attacks to blow up these trophy systems. You're gonna have Exceed cutting them down. Exceed finds 2 with some great movement behind that planner. And so far the Guerrilla setup is too strong, so Vegas Legion gonna have to take a different approach. Let's attack towards PD. Temp takes top control. This can cause problems right now for the Guerrillas.
Yep, definitely can, as we talked about it right here for LAG, needing to answer back on the ACs, and right now they are not comfortable at all. Not comfortable in the slightest. They've got to do the work. Pretty much headbutt the other side. Arcades tosses out a questionable nade, but still has a bit of pressure. Still in front of him. Trying to lay down the shots, lay down the bullets. Those one will connect for him. He's going to be awarded with the final 10. But now it's toward the office. Rotations inbound. And this is what we're going to see a lot of. Fast-paced, up and aggressive gunfights. Vazdev's out for either side. Can LAG win the rotation? It looks like they've done it. Here comes Vegas, their first opportunity in a break.
Yeah, so far it's been back-to-back hard fronts for both of these squads, chaining them together. P1 and P2 for Vegas, P3 and P4 for the Guerrillas. But can they withstand this push? Temp and TJ, they already combined for 2. There's only one player left in the hill. He drops and Assault eventually falls. That is a perfect break from Vegas, who usually do tend to struggle on this map. 11th overall as they make that one look easy.
Yeah, I was going to say that was, the one thing we were talking about coming into this Embassy hardpoint was that LAG, phenomenal at their breaks. For Vegas, not so much. However, trying to right the wrongs. There's right now a lot of time still to contest for. A lot of valuable seconds, but Shotzzy trying to style on him. Now it's up to TJ as the rookie will now set up for the veteran. Assault not able to win that final 1v1. So scrap points once more, this time awarded toward the likes of Vegas as they will reach that 100-point mark. As we prepare now for the kitchen, LAG in desperate need to get something going because it just feels like this has been a game so far dictated very much by the Legion boys, Jay.
Oh yeah, Legion. They're setting the tone right now in this hard point, and so far they put themselves in a great position to try to execute this break. It's only Joe Deceives in towards the point. You got the door closed, but your teammates have to win a couple gunfights. Joe Deceives trying to do it all. Him and Arcades at least combined for 2, but Clay, SMG Clay, switches out. He's able to find 3. You see the old man, he's roaring. He hits the reload, he snaps onto the last one, earns himself the cruise. Already on a 6-3, Vegas find another break.
I mean, how many years has Clay been playing COD for? Like 20, and now he decides
17.
to the SMG. Something like that. The SMG, who knows? Maybe he could play for another 50 years. With the SMG shot like that, racking up the time. And how about Clay? Oh, eventually falls, puts in some good work though. But it has been a solid start to this hard point, Jay, across the board. Great slaying numbers there for TJ as he eventually hits the deck. Everybody positive. Can they maintain that as they desperately look to force the game 5?
Now we find ourselves over towards P1 again. Now second rotation of hard points. Clay trying to put himself in a power position towards top AC, but the stun connects. He doesn't commit towards the fight. Exceed is able to take him down, and Arcades wins another. Assault finds a third. Last player is going to be Temp, trying to play his life towards top PD, so now he gets shut down. So now if you are the Guerrillas, you can get on towards P1. You know where the spawns are coming in. Soak as much time as you possibly can.
It's the name of the game. You see a lot of teams really be able to soak up quite a bit of seconds over at P1, especially if the other is so focused on those P2 spawns. However, that 1v1 ends up happening, and now it's Legion's turn. Top inside of P1 for the moment. But right now for Guerrillas, looking to lock things down, get back in this game, and they've got the best positioning for it. And they very well also could have a streak as well. If Joe Deceives can find another kill, that's going to be a cruise missile. You've got P2 spawns. All the makings of what could be a comeback.
If you are LAG, you just need to win these gunfights because this is where Vegas Legion were able to get a full 60. They find 3. Now it's all on to Temp, trying to cause problems from top gas. He's hitting a great snake from the top plat. He's able to find that kill onto Assault, and now the spawns for Vegas all towards back alley. So they have kitchen, but you have to think about those trophy systems that the Guerrillas have. Temp is not slowing down. 14 and 8. Both the ARs come into play for Vegas.
They are indeed. They want to fight for this time. Do not want to allow for LAG to have a foothold back in this game. But will that question, or will that answer rather, be decided for them? It is TJ and Temp who come through with 2 big gunfights. And that is a lot of time that they're going to be awarded for their efforts, as they'll have 1 player that's going to be on the rotation in 2 real. But they have built themselves a hefty advantage from this point. It has got to be solid work from the Guerrillas once more over at the ACs, as Temp is continuing on a wonderful streak. Everybody has got cruise missiles. Right now, Clay will look to invest his.
Yeah, Clay's going to invest his, but Temp's got to work around the map and find a gun. He ran out of ammo. So now that trophy system is able to stop that first one. And eventually Temp does fall, but that's already 3 in the feed. The break is in for Vegas Legion. They invest the crews, they know the positionings, and now they flip those spawns. The Guerrillas all spawning at P2. This is where Vegas Legion could basically pull away with this game and potentially close that post that game 5.
Yeah, that's going to jar you a little bit, right? If you're the Guerrillas, you see that streak come forward. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage, if any at all. And from there, the break is in from Vegas. However, they're able to answer back with 25 seconds left. Considering how valuable this time is and the rotation, they look to invest the other cruise missile. Well, they will have at least a bit of information. Clayster gets beamed, and now all the pressure gets focused on these 3 players from Legion. They hold this rotation down. They're in a wonderful spot. If they lose it, that could spell disaster, as LAG currently have numbers and they're winning all the fights, Jay.
Oh man, the Guerrillas, they're winning their gunfights. It's all off to TJ. He drops. Only last player in is going to be 2 real. Let's step aside. The Guerrillas trying to get that winner's bracket, currently down by 50. Let's go to elicit it.
I think it's chair side. He's chair side.
Back right. Yo, hit back happy. Hitting back happy.
I did that. That's 2.
One is back B2.
Number back. And back truck.
Chair weak.
Back truck. Out of jump truck.
I'm good. Watch your hold.
P1. They play P2. They spawn P2.
H1, he got me.
He's fine, guys.
H1. He killed me. Teach.
He's
back. H2 laying down. H2 down. Looking.
We gotta pressure this.
Bathroom 1 shot.
We gotta pressure. We have to pressure this.
That was right.
You're bathroom right now.
That's my head. Laundry, guys.
Yeah, economy.
He's dead.
Top office.
He jumped out white.
Jumped out sign, guys.
White, absolutely.
He's on sign.
Table.
Hold that. Play tight, Joe. I'm holding your gas bench.
Are they spawning orange? Yeah.
They're spawning A back AC, yeah. Back alley.
Alley, son. Back alley. More speed above me. Yeah, I'm trying to stay down.
I'm
leaving.
top bombs.
I can get your laundry. Give it up.
Got it. P1.
Big ass.
I got your laundry and P1 I can call.
That's you. What's the reception now?
Let's bottom orange right now.
Play tight, Joe. Close the door.
That's fine. Yes, just focus gas, okay?
Yeah, focus my gas.
I have P1
if you can. I'm here P1. I have P1.
Top right. I can't chop.
Yeah, back corner. It's close up.
One more gas. I died from P1 gas. Yo, P1 still
dead.
Alright, he's blocking orange.
I'm playing for the orange.
Oh, you're good.
Time. Heard you.
After Laundry, watch out.
I got orange and P1.
Laundry after stun.
I need laundry.
You can hear it at the times in the tone of their voices, Jay. It's starting to feel down, but this comeback is very much still possible. They're able to put a few away, and they do have those close spawns right now inside of the point. These 20 seconds are going to be huge. If they grab these, they're right back in this game. But Vegas, quick on the contest, quick to try and arrive. These 1v1s are going to be massive. Oh, Exceed runs out of ammo. Last 5 seconds go the way of Legion, but Jay, there is still some fight in that LAG camp.
Yeah, there's still some fight for the Guerrillas. Now they make this a 40-point deficit. How much time can they get off P1? They're in control of the spawns right now, forcing all of Vegas to try to break out from PD. Jodeci has a huge one-on-one. Great movement, but not able to find the kill. But they're doing a great job of getting back into this game. That's 15 uncontested seconds so far on P1.
Yeah, Vegas, they look to go for the spawn investment. However, that does allow for LAG to sit up at P1. By no means a super risky strategy, but one that could net into a bit of a negative if they're not careful. At the same time, Vegas will hop on side of the point. That's going to be a few down. A few begin to fall. Exceed and Shotzzy, the rookies here for the Guerrillas. Look to try to get something going. 20 seconds still left at P1. That final engagement goes the way of TJ. So you can feel it across the map. So many big gunfights, but Assault is able to win that 1v1. And with that, LAG have got numbers as we fly in for P2.
Yeah, P2 is the hill that has caused them problems so far in this game. Vegas, they're going to just put a lot of pressure on through the street. They find the initial 2 kills. It's all on Joe Thieves and Arcades. They combine for 3. Last player up is going to be Clay towards the street. He has to try to play his life. His teammates are spawning all the way across the map.
Yeah, Clay, he's going to stay alive. He's at least going to be able to find a kill, but he's not able to do anything. Dropped by the nade, and as Vegas are coming off a spawn, they can't do anything. They're not even getting an angle over at P2. It was a wild near major comeback for LAG in the Mercado, and now they're looking to do the same thing here on aBeZy. An opportunity to win as they continue to fall by the wayside. Jay, Vegas, they've got to contest at the very least.
They gotta get to the point. They have to contest this, but right now the setup for the Guerrillas is too strong. You invest that cruise middle to pick up all the info 10 seconds away from them calling series.
It looks like it could be that way. However, here comes the last second contest.
Can't win. Can't win.
Can no longer win it here. They can no longer win it here. It's a race as we fly in for the ACs. Assault the Soul Man off the rip as Vegas are able to clear the board, and now they've got the advantage now.
They got the advantage. All you need to do is hold down one push. Exceed is currently on a 5-3, potentially playing for 1 kill to earn that cruise missile, but it's climbing. You gotta go. Vegas trying to force the game 5.
Can they make it happen? LAG look to enter forward. Temp able to find 1. He's got to be careful.
Oh no!
As he stakes his heart away. Can Temp go off? Turns for 1. The knife is out in LAG. They make the break and they win the game. They were not able to do it in that opening hard point. They were down huge on the Mercado, and we said, what if? What would have happened if LAG would have made the comeback? And now they get a second opportunity at it here on aBeZy, and they bring it back after some stellar play across the board. One that is going to leave you with nightmares. If you're Vegas Legion, the chance to at least guarantee the game 5, and they allow for it to slip. 3 games in a row as LAG call this wild series their own.
What an unbelievable performance. What a comeback from the Guerrillas in those final moments. It was like a 70 to 80 point deficit going into that kitchen hill. They get a great hold there. They soak a lot of time off of P1, and the game-changing play was them taking control of that P2 hardpoint. You saw Vegas. They had no choice, man. You had to put the pressure on because LAG would have closed it out on that P2. They put so much pressure that they only have 1 player left over towards the rotation. Exceed eventually goes on a 6 or a 7 spree to close out that game. You saw the young man. He was roaring on his chest, man, because the Guerrillas, they did exactly what they needed to do to secure that winner's bracket. Great series from them.
Yeah, incredible stuff. They're out of the LA Guerrillas. We talked about it so often. Hardpoint has really been the story around this team, and they're able to close out this series, close out their Major III qualifiers with a hardpoint win. Much appreciation and props to the LA Guerrillas for pulling off something like that. However, that's going to do it for myself and Jay. A crazy series in the books. Desk, break it all down.
I just want to congratulate Ali here calling it. If it went to game 4, it was going to be the Guerrillas. If it went to a game 5, it was Vegas Guerrillas with a comeback in the second hardpoint, come back and steal this series with a 3-1 score. And Nameless, this had a number of huge implications. Let's talk about the conditions for Guerrillas to get into the winner's bracket.
Yeah, with the 3-0 or 3-1, they have the map percentage over Las Vegas, and they have secured the winner's bracket. And if you think about how this started for LAG, that is a crazy turnaround, man. Just tense moments again in this series. They're able to get it done, Chris.
0-3 coming into this week. They had dropped the game 5 to Texas, got 0-3'd by Boston, lost a game 5 round 11 to London, and then went back-to-back series. As we take a look back at some of the best moments, Legion was in total control of this game. We were ready to go to a game 5. Where did the Guerrillas turn this around?
It is the same thing that we have seen happen to Vegas Legion on this map and mode many times before, where they are in control. They are getting those early rotations. It wasn't even the early rotations. It was the breaks from the Vegas Legion. They are the worst team in breaking so far this split, and they were picking apart LAG and all of their early holds throughout this entire game. But what is it? It's this P1. LAG is able to get the scrap time to keep the game close until that final P1, where they're able to seriously soak some time.
Not even just scrap time, dude. Like, they got a big chunk of that time even in the beginning. Like, Temp was sitting up top paper the entire time, and we didn't see anybody on the side of Legion trying to get through Orange, get him off the hill. They got way too much time there, and then it's Adam Assault makes a fantastic play on the next rotation over towards Xbox. He gets to those vans and he gets a kill. That's all he needs. And then we see the big error that happened with Vegas. They all cut through mid instead of trying to rat back through PD. They get cut off from bottom laundry, and that is game over. And what was such a good map, LAG end up getting the win in the end. That has to be so painful.
Got to give major props to Assault. It looks like he sped up his game, and the team is feeding him kill after kill. Congratulations on Los Angeles Guerrillas. You are now playing in the winners bracket, and we still have to find out who's going to be joining you. Before we move forward, though, let's relive one of the best moments. This comes from the SMG. We highlighted the young man. Exceed with the 3K here, Allie.
Yeah, I felt like Exceed was a big player to watch in this series, where a lot was on the shoulders of the SMGs when it came up to Vegas Legion, and it was really in that search and destroy where we saw him shine.
Excellent stuff there as he gets the round against Legion. And now we got to talk with the man who's been commanding his troops since day one. Arcitys, the original face here of the LA Guerrillas in 2023, back again. And you're now looking at a winner's bracket start to Texas. What was it like this week talking with the management, talking with coaches and your teammates coming in?
I don't talk to them at all, whatever. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, there was nothing really. I pretty much just called them, told them like I have no confidence recently, and like these last two series were good for me. Obviously the first one I didn't play that well, but I think just winning is more like a boost for me.
Absolutely, and sometimes it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. And you guys, well, you finished in winner's bracket with this win. And I wanted to ask you, during that Embassy hardpoint, and obviously throughout the majority of it, you guys were down. Was there ever a moment where you felt like the tides had kind of turned in your favor near the end of it?
Honestly, it's when their AR started killing. Clay has a big loogie on his forehead. He said yesterday, don't give me my bread and butters, and he gave me the butter and bread. So he has a loogie for sure.
Love that.
But other than that, no, not really. Like we just clutched up, iced up while they were just killhorn, like I said, on P1s.
Alec, I want to ask you, first of all, you're my favorite interview. I just hilarious every time. Great answers. Bro, tell me.
Yo, wait, hold on. I got rid of the gun. I got rid of the barrel or the muzzle. Trust.
All right, you running high velo again?
Velo was on.
Okay, thank you.
It was on, 100%.
He wasn't running high velo, and I was concerned. I was in his chat. But let me ask you, so today it seemed like in a lot of these situations, you were like hard playing the back, hard playing spawn, especially on that Mercado. A couple of times it was a little bit iffy, and they were breaking on through. Was that like a play style adjustment that you made? Like, I'm going to just play in the back, guys. You guys get in the hill and slay.
I mean, yeah, I watched a lot of BO2. Yeah, last night, Haggy, or Parasite, obviously. Aches just teaching me how to play the game. I just wanted to block spawns, let my boys go rogue, but it didn't work. Like, they weren't getting kills for me.
So you called the hotline 1-800 just early for a quotation?
1-800 Parasite for sure.
There we go, that one too.
It works. It works. He also has a scuff code, I'm pretty sure. Don't worry, Allie. I'm also lost in the sauce, but I'm moving forward anyway. Alec, before you move forward, what's it like playing against Clayster? I always love watching the AR matchup. Do you actually run into each other often on the battlefield, or are you guys doing different jobs around the map now?
I don't know. I'll tell you when I see the stats after the series, but like I'm pretty sure he was just getting slammed.
There you go. There you have it. Alec.
No, I'm kidding. I love Clay. I'm messing around. Clay's my boy.
Keep talking the smack, because you're gonna need it in Texas. That's where we will see you next.
I mean, I was on 3 before this. All right. I can't talk smack anymore.
That's Arcitys. We're gonna let him go party with the team. We gotta keep this party moving, though. When we come back, we have a third series on a Super Saturday. Major 3 standings, though, are updated. Shout out to our graphics team. They are swift. Let's take a look at this one, Allie. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams with 3-1 records. OpTic and Subliners still have to play tonight to see who's going to be number 6.
I know we talk about it throughout the whole season about how close the competition is and anybody could play to anyone at any day, but I feel like maybe there is really some separation between maybe like our top 6, top 8 teams and those bottom 4, specifically that bottom row 5.
And of course, Nameless, as we head to Texas, it's all about the watch party. Shout out to our friends and family around the globe who have been hosting their own and part of the community. How do you get involved?
Man, you can host your own watch party. You can apply for a spot, man. CallOfDutyLeague.com/co-streaming. Watch parties have been absolutely amazing. One of the best things for our scene in quite some time.
When we come back, we have another team vying for a 2-3 record, but you're going up against one of the best in the business, Toronto, London.